Welcome to Kids Cooking with Oren. I'm Oren and I'm going to teach you how to cook. Today we're going to be making double chocolate chip muffins. They look so good. They're from a recipe source called Smitten Kitchen. So what you're going to need is you're going to need oil. It doesn't matter what type of oil you have. The recipe says oil or butter, so you can choose. You're going to need milk. Doesn't matter what type of milk you want. Eggs, brown sugar, yogurt, and chocolate chips. And then over here on the dry ingredients, you're going to need salt and baking powder, flour, and cocoa powder. So, you're also going to need, for your tools, you're going to need an ice cream scooper to scoop the batter into the muffin tins afterwards, and a whisk. And make sure that you're wearing an apron and a towel just in case you spill anything. Okay, I'm just going to show you quickly. This is what you should line the muffin tins, and this recipe only makes 12 muffins, so make sure to only use one of these. But if you have smaller or larger, you can just fill in 12. Okay, so first you have to set the oven to 350 degrees. After you do that, take out a big bowl, and you're gonna start by putting in the butter or oil, your choice. The butter, oil, and then the brown sugar. There we go. See, I spilled a little bit. That's why you have a towel. Okay, brown sugar. The milk. And yogurt. And for the yogurt, we used vanilla yogurt, but we ran out of that, so we just put in Greek yogurt. So if you're going to do vanilla yogurt, the recipe calls for just some vanilla extract, but if you're doing the vanilla yogurt, you're not going to need that. So pour in your yogurt. Okay. And then yogurt, and last it says vanilla, but I used vanilla yogurt, so you don't need vanilla. And then we're gonna whisk this. Not too much, because then you're gonna whisk in some more stuff. So whisk this. Try to get it. You see how there's still some clumps. You don't wanna like over whisk it. Just sort of like do that. Now we can add in. You can add in and then we're gonna whisk in the eggs. It's right here. Whisk in the eggs. And then sprinkle the salt and baking soda. So I don't know if I forgot to say, but this is salt and baking soda. You can put them separately if you want, but it's just easier together. So sprinkle it on top. Okay. Okay. And then we're gonna whisk thoroughly until combined. Okay. So next, we just put most of the ingredients in here, and then whisk it thoroughly to combined. And then we're going to stir in the cocoa powder, whisking until any lumps disappear. So put in the cocoa powder. Then it says whisk until any lumps disappear. So, okay. Take your whisk again. It's okay if you make a little mess. You can just clean it up with a towel or clean it up later. whenever you're stirring in cocoa powder to something, you want to be extra careful because it's so like floury that it can get everywhere and it gets really annoying. Then every once in a while you want to try to scrape the sides off to get as much as you can off of that. The nice thing about this recipe is it's very easy, so it's easy to combine and do everything unlike some other recipes. Next, we started the cocoa powder, whisking until any lumps disappear. There aren't any lumps in here. If they're like tiny lumps, it's fine. But if they're like big ones, you're gonna want to get rid of those. So, okay. So after you whisk in the cocoa powder, stir in flour and 1 cup of the chocolate chips. So with flour, you want to be really careful when you're stirring the flour in, because you can see sort of. There you go. Make sure you get all the flour in. Then you're gonna mix it together. Now the batter can start to get like a little hard. So just if you need some help, you can ask a parent. And then 1 cup of the chocolate chips. So it tells you in the recipe how much you need, and the recipe will be listed below the video. So, but you're gonna take the 1 cup of it and stir in. Because the reason it's divided is because after we put it in the batter, after we put the batter in the little muffin tins, we're going to sprinkle it with more chocolate chips. But this is going to be inside. That's why it's called double chocolate chip. You're going to try to like fold it. If you don't know how to fold it, you sort of just like start from the edge, go out, and then back in. Sort of like incorporates it all. Okay, and then we're going to spoon the batter into the 12 muffin cups, which are right over here. So you have your ice cream scooper. This is not ice cream, but this is just what you use to scoop it into the batter. So yeah, don't panic if it goes to the top. Okay, scatter. Okay, so we're gonna scoop this in. Doesn't really have to be perfect. You're gonna do one for each one. So I think this is good. Okay, now that I'm gonna show you see this? They're all lined with all of it, and you can see some of them got a little out. This is a big one, and it's just gonna depend on the size. It's not gonna affect the flavor. So now your oven should be ready, and if it's not, you can wait a couple more minutes and don't take off your apron and don't put stuff away yet, because you're gonna do that at the end. So after you do that, okay, after you got everything in, don't put it in the oven yet, because we still have to sprinkle it with the more chocolate chips. So you're gonna take some. You can sprinkle a couple on each if you want some with more than others. It's fine. Same for each. Give everyone a decent amount. And if you have extras, go back over. Okay. Now, you see you have a couple extra. Let me just take one and put it in my mouth. These are really good. That's the cool thing about baking with chocolate. So now, once the oven's ready, you're gonna take your tray and put it in the oven. And the recipe says to bake the muffins for 18 to 20 minutes. So like whenever they look ready, but don't just judge it by that. So 18 to 20 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted into the center of each muffin comes out batter-free, meaning clean. And then after you bake them, you can eat them right away after they cool off, obviously. Or you can store muffins a few days in an airtight container at room temperature, like in case you want to have it for breakfast or for dessert. Okay, so after you put your muffins in the oven, now I'm just going to tell you some of my notes. Below the video, sort of like the author who made this recipe, the recipe author, her notes are below the video, but my notes are just have all the ingredients prepared ahead of time. So if you have them prepared ahead of time, like I did, it's much easier than like you look at the recipe and then you grab the ingredient and then you put it in, and then you look at the recipe and grab the. If you just have anything prepared ahead of time, you can just dump it in like I did. Well, don't dump it, follow the recipe. But my second note is if there is any extra batter, you can make more muffins. So we actually had to do that because you could see that I had a lot of excess batter. Well, not a lot, some excess batter. So we made 3 more muffins, and they're also in the oven. So yeah, if you have more, you can just make more. And while you're baking, make sure to have fun. It's much easier to bake when you're having fun than just baking. Yeah, so after they come out of the oven, I will tell you how they taste. Okay, so they look so good. Just look at them. So you have to take them out of the oven, obviously, and then you can put them on. We put them on these little racks. We use these whenever we're baking to cool them off. I wouldn't suggest touching the pan until it's cool. We've let them sit for a couple minutes so the pan's cool. So I'm gonna take one of the muffins and try them. If you want to try them with me, you can. If yours is not ready, you can just pause the video. Wait, so I have my plate. Doesn't really matter what type of plate you have. And I'm gonna take one. Let's see if I can try to get one of these out. It's okay if you swish them a little bit. Okay. Now, make sure to, if you use a toothpick to pick them, that'll be good. And, oh, this looks so good. If you have to throw them back in the oven for a couple minutes, that's okay. It's worth it, hopefully. Okay, take it out, lands on its head. Oh, and look, there's still some stuff in that's okay, didn't come out fully. Now, you can see I took off my apron and put away everything, but no. That was very good. That was very good. Okay, so you can finish up, and